there are a few terminal points that you're going to need to memorize. 0 is 1, 0. If you haven't gone anywhere, you're out on the end, and that's 1 unit over and no units high. Pi over 6, the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. Pi over 4, the one we found a while ago, the square root of 2 over 2 and the square root of 2 over 2. Pi over 3, 1/2 and the square root of 3 over 2. Notice that these two just have their coordinates switched. And pi over 2? Pi over 2 is straight up, 1 unit, but it has an x-coordinate of 0. So now, let's look over here. Remember, the unit circle is 1 unit in radius. It's 2 pi units the whole way around. Halfway is pi. So let's think of this section and the parts that it has. If we only go to here, we've only done half of our pi units. If I divide this, I can make 3 units that I divided into. So this is pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, and pi. I could divide it into fourths. Pi over 4, or 1/4 pi. Half is 2/4. I would have another measurement over here that would be 3/4 pi, and then pi again. We also quite often divide pi into 6 parts. So this is pi divided by 6, or 1/6 pi. Now, the problem comes when I have you memorize these, and then I give you other values. But you can quickly figure those out. First of all, let's look at 2/3 pi. If we do 2/3 pi, there's kind of a unique situation up here. If I mark this terminal point, and I mark the terminal point at 2/3 pi, I can find that they are exactly the same height. Since they're the same height, their y-coordinates are going to be the same. And remember, the y-coordinate on this was the square root of 3 over 2. So this y-coordinate has to be the square root of 3 over 2. Now, look at this thing. If I draw a line straight down, and I draw a line straight down over here, they turn out to be the same distance from 0. The only thing is, if you think of a directed distance, this one's positive and this one is negative. Our x-coordinate on this is 1/2. We know that from the value you're going to have to memorize. But it also makes sense. It looks halfway between the two. Now this x-coordinate isn't 1/2. It's negative 1/2 because it's on the negative part of the x-axis. We could do this with any of our sections the whole way around the unit circle. For example, if I travel a whole distance of pi and then 1/6 more, I end up with 1 1/6 pi, but we never leave it in a mixed number form formally. Formally, it will be 7/6 pi or 7 pi over 6. So when I get to this, 7 pi over 6, that's how far I've traveled. I've gone 1 whole unit of pi and 1/6 more. It's going to be very similar to this coordinate point. We will have gone out 3 pi over 2 and then drop down 1/2. The only thing is, when we travel in this direction, it won't be a positive 3 pi over 2, it will be a negative 3 pi over 2. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. It's going to be a negative square root of 3 over 2. So that's our x-coordinate. Then we're going to come down 1/2 units, but because this is the y direction it's going down, it's negative 1/2. So now you've seen how to find two terminal points. They're very similar, but in order for you to do this, you have to memorize this chart. This chart is found in your textbook on page 403. This has to be memorized. How soon? By tomorrow.